What's up guys, Jakob Owens here, back for another tutorial. Today we're going to talk about sound design, sound effects, where to get them, how to best utilize them, and just kind of basically run down the sound design that I did for the new short film. I just figured this would be a perfect opportunity to talk about because of some of the sound effects I do use and all the different layers, and then where I got some particular sound effects that aren't the easiest to find. So like first of which, the video or the whole short film starts on this record player, and so I just wanted some smooth jazz, like it was like an old record, kind of playing on the gosh, I can't even think of the record player, and so I just came to Epidemic Sound, and here I typed in some old jazz music. Epidemic's super fire. They just have so many different types of albums, categories, ways to search, and the best of all of like all these websites that do these different, like, you know, licensing for YouTube, free licensing and royalties and whatnot for YouTube, they have sound effects. Not many of them have sound effects, so that's pretty cool, and that's where I'll get into some of the sound effects I used. But first off, along with that jazz music that I pulled from here, I typed in record player to see if I could find anything, and boom. There was 4 different types. I think I downloaded this one right here, and then I threw it into the timeline, the record player crackle, so it just has that little subtle crackle to the record player, as I also then let the instrumental play that I found online. Now with that one right here, I put a low pass filter low pass and high pass, and that gives it that feeling distant vibe. If I were to take both of those off, it's just very in your face, and it feels like it's scoring the piece rather than being in the scene. So by adding the whole high pass filter, low pass filter, and dialing those in, it makes it feel like it's actually in the scene, like we're capturing that audio live instead of like it scoring the actual scene. So those are like small little details and tricks that you need to think about when you're editing a piece, like making it feel a part of the scene, and that was like something I did right there. So moving forward, let's find another good moment here. This is kind of the first moment where our talent, when she sees something's wrong, there's like this subtle kind of little wave in sound. It's called like a horde's whoosh, doomsday. It just kind of rumbles and gives a little vibe. And so I put that right at the moment that we reveal, okay, someone's in the house, something is wrong, and it just adds to it. And then right after that fades out, we bring in the drone sound. It's just like this droning hum that starts to build the anticipation. You can see that right here. Eerie tunnel. It's just kind of this subtle ambient little drone that pops in, once the characters enter the space. For all the horror sounds, I got it from Boom Library. Boom Library has a ton of killer sound effects packs and different things. I use their horror pack here. You can see Boom Library horror, and that's so pretty much anything you hear in this piece that's like a hit or a synth or something that's horror related, got from Boom Library. Same thing here. So our talent leaves, or the bad guys leaves, a little bit of a whoosh, and then leads us into the next scene. So from there, again, moving into Boom Library, and this is one of their whooshes. Like I said, whooshes, hits, synths, but she says there's 2 men in my house, and so right on the whip pan to reveal, I throw in this sound effect, and it just adds that little bit of texture that's so crucial.
Can I help you? There's 2 men inside my house.
You can hear that. Those subtle little details for that reveal, for that pan, it gives it motivation, it gives it feeling, it gives it texture, it gives it depth. All things you need to think about. So let's move on to the other sound effect. This sound effect right here, we had it like he heard a noise, so he stops and turns around. But when we were shooting, we didn't actually capture any audio. So later that night, I just picked up my Zoom recorder and I filmed I recorded myself like leaning back in my metal chair and just captured that. And then I threw a little reverberation on it. If you come into the effects tab, effects, reverb, throw a little reverb on it. That'll give it some, you know, kind of like it's further away and slightly echoing. Because again, if we just had that sound super loud and apparent, it's like we're hearing it. Whereas we want it to feel like it's being captured coming from the back of the room, somewhere in the room further away. So adding that reverb and lowering the volume just makes it feel like it's in the scene. Then right here, another kind of drone sound, because the anticipation is building, so we want to throw that in there subtly, not apparent, but just subtly. For the reveal, one more time. So moving forward, this is one of the scenes where she bites his hand, and we didn't have that sound effect, didn't know how to capture that. And so I actually, again, on Epidemic Sound, just went to sound effects and I typed in bite. And lo and behold, there was just so many different types of bites, and I just picked like, let's see here, which one is this actually titled? This is Purdue Bite Flesh Juicy. So I just took that sound, I lowered the levels a little bit, again, because you just add that sound directly in, it feels too punchy. So I took it, put it in here, dropped it to -15, and again, added a little reverb so it felt like it was in the room, it was echoey, it felt like we were capturing it in the scene, and now it plays well. And then same thing, there's a head crack, body hit, human impact body, which I also pulled from here on the sound effects tab in Epidemic, just finding a body hit, and then from the boom library, a nice little boom hit. Then you mix those both together at the exact same time of the headbutt, and you get a nice little combo.
Oh, this is bad.
Then again, just coming to the end, little police sirens, which again, pulled from Epidemic, a little drone from Epidemic, a little whoosh right here from Boom Library to signal the reset of the one take on the record player. The crackle, all the layers intermixed. And most importantly, you always want to tail off each sound, just so there's not ever an abrupt hard cut or sound. The best you can, try and tail off each one, and you can do that when you go to audio transitions, crossfade, constant power, and you can just drag it to the start or end of each clip and drag the length of the fade. So that's really it. That's a brief rundown of the sound design, the effects, how I did them, where I got them for the short film. Go check it out. On YouTube right now. I just dropped it a few days ago. Cat and mouse. Go peep it. All right, that's it for today. Any questions, let me know in the comments below. I'm Jakob Owens for the Buff Nerds, and I'm out.